So today I want to talk about shifting our energy, raising our vibrations, bringing more gratitude in our lives, and just appreciating the present moment. Because to me, that's what an energetic glow up looks like. Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Sixth Sense CEO. If you're new here, my name is Sam, and I will be your host today and every day of this incredible show. So today, I am back with a super personal topic for me, but it's something that I think will also really resonate with you if you've been feeling kind of blah lately, if you're not super happy about where your life is going or where it is currently. Because if I'm being completely honest, I've been feeling really low vibe lately. I've been struggling a lot with negative thoughts. I've been feeling really stressed out. I've had a lot of days that just really feel heavy. Even my boyfriend noticed it, and he has really been like a voice of reason in all of this. Because whenever he notices that, he starts to call me out on it, and he'll say, "Hey, you need to go outside and touch grass." And he does it in a very nice way. Like, he doesn't say it like that, but he's always reminding me to focus on the positives and to think about all the opportunities I have instead of just focusing on the challenges and the problems they create. And also just reminding me to be grateful for what I have. I know I've talked about gratitude journaling before, and that's something that I do to help me look on the bright side and see the positives in situations, but lately it's been feeling harder for me. And that's me being completely honest about this. I think we've all gone through points in our lives where we just don't feel aligned with what's happening or who we are as people. And one thing I've realized is a lot of this low vibe energy that I'm facing is because I'm focusing on the things that I don't have instead of the things that I do. So I'll give you a couple of examples. I have my business and my fitness journey. Those are really my two main things that I'm working towards this year. And there are times in my business, and this is not the first time that this has happened, by the way, but there are times in my business where I put in a lot of work into something and I don't see the results that I want immediately. And then I kind of get in my head like, oh, what am I doing? Who am I to do this? Am I doing the wrong thing? And I get really down on myself. I start feeling more worthless, like I have nothing to give to the world. And that's just my really dark place of where I go sometimes. And as I've gotten older and more experienced in life, I've gotten better at pulling myself out of that place before I really start to spiral. But it does get hard sometimes. And, my fitness journey has been similar because, as I've spoken about in previous episodes, I gained a little bit of weight over the last few years. And I've been working to focus more on my fitness and my nutrition and going to the gym and, really working towards getting my dream body. Which even when I was at a lower weight, I didn't feel like I had my dream body per se. I didn't feel really toned up. I didn't have the muscle that I wanted. And so that's why a lot of my focus in the gym has been on weightlifting. But when it comes to weightlifting, it can help you lose weight, but at the same time, because you're building muscle, some of your body is just recomposing itself. Instead of just the weight falling off of you, sometimes your body goes through a recomposition process and you start to replace the fat that you have with muscle. And because of that, I haven't seen as many weeks where I've seen substantial results on the scale, but I do notice physical changes in my body. So sometimes I get in my head about the number on the scale because I feel like I should be losing more weight than I am, but then I remember that that's just a number and it's just one piece of the whole picture. And anyways, that's just my thought process behind all of that. But it's been hard for me to not get down on myself about that. I do love going to the gym. I love working out. It's an important part of my life, but sometimes the negative little thoughts creep in and make me feel like I'm doing something wrong or I'm not doing enough, or just all these stories that are not always helpful. And a lot of the time, these stories make me feel like I just want it now. Like I have to rush to get all the results that I want right this second. And this is something my boyfriend has actually called me out on too, which in the moment when he does it, I don't like it very much. But in retrospect, he's right. For me, it's so easy to forget where I am right now and to truly appreciate the present moment, especially because I've onboarded new clients recently. And that's, as I mentioned, the reason why I had to take a week off the podcast and take a week off of socials and all this stuff. But what I realize is that whenever I have hour by hour tasks to complete, whenever my schedule is completely full, sometimes I get too caught up in that I don't really relish in the present moment or appreciate what's going on right here and right now. And that's really what inspired this episode. So today I want to talk about shifting our energy, raising our vibrations, bringing more gratitude in our lives, and just appreciating the present moment. Because to me, that's what an energetic glow up looks like. And as I've sunk deeper and deeper into these negative thoughts that I've been experiencing, I've realized, wow, an energetic glow up is what I need. I don't need to spend tons of money on my hair and my clothes and my makeup and, Botox filler, all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not against any of those things at all. But that's where my mind immediately goes when I say, oh, I need to fix something about myself. I need to fix this. I need to fix that. I need to lose 20 pounds. I need to get Botox. I need to, do something different with my makeup, or, my face is to this or to that, or my body's to this or to that. Like, these are where my mind goes whenever I feel negative about myself. But the energetic glow up helps you truly glow up from within. So instead of feeling like you have to fix things, all of a sudden you are enhancing things instead. And that's why I said I'm not against Botox filler, plastic surgery, makeup, skincare, fashion, or any of that stuff. All those things are things that I'm not opposed to, and even fashion and makeup are an important part of my life. But the important distinction to make is that you're making changes from a place of love and not from a place of completely fucking hating yourself. So let's take a closer look at this energetic glow up concept. As I mentioned, to me, it's all about raising your vibration and lifting your energy. If you want that vibe, you light up the room whenever you walk into it. People are just magnetized to you because your personality is so amazing and you look so cool and you just have this vibe about you, like, that woman has her shit together. She looks great, feels great, has so much confidence. Then girly, you need an energetic glow up. And that's what I realized that I need to do to really show up as my best self and radiate the confidence that I want to in my life. And when you're in this higher frequency, when you're in this high vibe attitude, opportunities will magnetize themselves to you. You will become a magnet for abundance and a magnet for opportunities and a magnet for all the good things that you want out of your life. And this goes so much deeper than just getting a facial or hitting the gym 3 times a week. It really is about what's on the inside. It's about shifting your mindset and your energy so everything aligns with that higher vibration. And I've noticed this on the flip side in my life, where whenever I'm stuck in these low vibrations and I'm having all these negative thoughts, I unintentionally create a lot of resistance for myself, and all of a sudden things feel hard and I don't want to get out of bed and I don't feel excited about the day, and all the work I'm doing just feels so boring and so cumbersome and so hard, and the things that I loved to do before all of a sudden feel like chores. And in my opinion, that is no way to live. That is a miserable way to live. I don't want that from my life. But whenever I'm grateful and I'm positive and I'm focused on the good, that's when things start to just work for me. And I have a great example of this. Whenever the pandemic hit and we were all in lockdown, I was staying in my dad's apartment. My dad had a little 2-bedroom apartment and I was staying in one of them and he was in the other one. We were all in quarantine, and I just remember that everyone was losing their jobs. Everyone was getting laid off. This was the very beginning of COVID, at the beginning of 2020 when all this happened. But I stayed positive. I did my gratitude journaling. I did my hobbies. I worked. I had a little part-time job. It was a remote job for a marketing agency at the time. But then something crazy happened. Because as everyone was looking for jobs, I was applying for full-time jobs as well, looking for something new. That agency that I had the part-time job with offered me a full-time position. They said, hey, we've brought on this huge client. We need your help with it. We need you to move to Miami and come help us with this. And I was like, bet. Everyone's losing their jobs right now, and yet someone wants to hire me? It was like a miracle. It truly was a miracle job opportunity, because at the time, I didn't really have a lot else going on career-wise. And so I was like, yes, sold. I truly believe that happened because I was so positive, even with the whole world shutting down and so much uncertainty and people not knowing what the fuck was going to happen. I stayed positive. I wrote in my gratitude journal every day. I wrote my affirmations. I had these big dreams for myself. And that positivity is what carried me through. Even when it seemed like there were no opportunities, I still had opportunities coming to me. That is the definition of manifestation. And whenever you are in a low vibrational state, it's a lot harder to manifest things like that because you're creating all these blocks and all this resistance to what you want. And so reminding myself of this is very powerful because it makes me realize that I truly do need to do an energetic glow up and get my energy right because that's the block that is in the way of me achieving my goals and honestly just feeling good about myself again. And I want to circle back to the power of gratitude because it really is like, you could think of it like an energy shot for your life. And you shouldn't wait until you're feeling down to practice gratitude. That's not the point. You should practice it all the time so you can actually lift your vibration overall rather than just waiting for something bad to happen and saying, oh, I gotta write in my gratitude journal, because that's not gonna do you a lot of good. We want to raise our average level of vibration, if you know what I mean. Let me know if I'm explaining this well. What I'm trying to say is whenever you're practicing gratitude regularly, it makes things less bad when things go wrong, and it makes things even better when things are going right. So if you make it a consistent practice, it will just improve your life overall, and when things go south, it won't impact your vibe as much. You want to create this high vibe cycle that just keeps building on itself, and that's on gratitude. So another key part of my energetic glow up is really being more present with the people in my life and the things I'm doing. And one big thing that is in my way of doing this is mindlessly scrolling on social media. I know I've talked about this in previous episodes, but as someone in marketing, it has been a very difficult habit for me to break, or at least it's felt that way for me. I don't like using the word difficult because I know that's just going to create more resistance for me. It has been very easy for me to get lost in scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok and stuff like that. It was easier when I took a break from posting because then I didn't feel as compelled to open up the apps. But something I'm working on is really catching myself in the moment whenever I'm mindlessly scrolling and then stopping myself and saying, oh, it's time to close this app. It's time to do something different. It's time to refocus on the present moment. Because whenever you're scrolling, you're not really here in reality. You're in a different world. You're not experiencing the present moment the way that all the other people are, unless they're the ones that are also mindlessly scrolling, which is probably a lot. But the truth is, you can have a much better human experience when you just cut the mindless scrolling habit, because then you'll actually experience life as it is, and you can go out for a walk and experience nature. You could have meaningful conversations with your partner or your family or friends. You're not being consumed by content that really doesn't have anything to do with you. You know what I mean? And when you scroll and scroll and scroll, you're missing out on the beauty of the present moment, which is going to contribute to your low vibration, because then you're going to be so disassociated from reality because you're going to be lost in the social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook world. Really appreciating who you are, where you are, and what you're doing right now is a key component of maintaining a high vibration. And the third part of my energetic glow up is going to be acting as if, or I don't really like to say it that way because then it makes it sound like it's fake. I mean showing up as if. I'll just use an example to explain this. I am working on my dream body. I'm going to the gym. I'm eating well. I'm eating over 160 grams of protein while maintaining a calorie deficit, which I thought would be hard, but I've gotten into a great routine where it doesn't feel hard to me anymore. And that's really the key to any goal, is eliminating resistance. But I haven't achieved my dream body yet. I'm not exactly as toned as I want to be. I haven't lost as much weight as I want to, but I can show up in the world as if I have done that. So what I mean by this is I can walk with confidence. I can walk into a room and light the whole place up. I can make eye contact with people and speak to them in a way that demonstrates assertiveness. I can treat my body with love and care. I can take care of myself, which I've been doing a great job of recently, and I'm really proud of myself because in the past I haven't done that. But those are all things that I would do once I have my dream body. So if I start doing that now, then I actually close the gap between who I am now and who I'm aspiring to be. And I bring those two versions of myself together. And so those are things I've been working on as well, is how I show up in the world, how I treat myself, how I present myself to other people. And that's how you align your energy with reality. And all of your manifestations come into the 3D world more quickly. So those are the three key areas of my energetic glow up that I'm focusing on right now. But I do want to share some information on a really exciting thing that I am going to be launching very soon. I just came up with this idea today, thinking about this topic of the energetic glow up. I'm going to be doing a 2025 glow up challenge where we're going to glow the fuck up in our lives, in our energy, in our relationships, and how we show up in the world. It's going to be a full scale glow up challenge so we can go into 2025 confident like the bad bitches we know we are and just make 2025 our best fucking lives. So I am actually launching the waitlist for this right now. You can sign up here in the YouTube description or the podcast show notes, wherever you're tuning into this episode. I will have more details on this very soon, but I just got an intuitive download from the universe this morning and I knew I had to put this program together. So if that sounds great to you, then go ahead and drop your email on our little waitlist page. If you join the waitlist, you'll be the first to know when we launch, so make sure you hop on it. Now back to the topic of today's episode. There is something I want to talk about if you don't know where to start when glowing up your energy or your life. So I'm going to talk about the power of doing a life audit, because before you can truly step into your energetic glow up, you need a good assessment of where you are right now. Or I don't know, assessment sounds like too corporate of a word. You need to have self-awareness about where you are currently in your life and your energy and how things are going. So a life audit is basically taking inventory of different areas of your life. So your fitness, your finances, your nutrition, your happiness, your hobbies, your relationships, whatever these categories are, they might be different for you versus me versus somebody else. Whatever the important areas of your life are going to be your starting points for doing this life audit. This is all about seeing where you are now and where you want to go. So one thing I love to do is create a mind map for this. So basically a mind map is like, it's almost like a drawing, but it's a diagram where you start with one thing in the center and then you branch out to things outside of that. And then each of those branches also have branches going out. So it's like basically breaking one topic down into subtopics and then more subtopics within those. So you're basically creating these actions or these areas of your life that are really granular. They're really specific, meaning that it's easier for you to break it down into specific actions that you can actually take instead of just getting overwhelmed by all the stuff you have to do, you know? So I'll give you an example. If you want to start with the fitness category, you might start by looking at how active you've been this year in 2024, what your activities are fitness related, or if you don't have any, then what activities do you want to implement? If you really don't have a fitness routine and you're starting from scratch, honestly, that's an exciting place to be because there's a lot of room for growth. So don't beat yourself up if you haven't fully explored one of these areas of your life yet, because having more room for growth means that you could have a really great transformation in 2025. Try to look at it that way rather than saying, oh, I'm a bum and I sit on the couch all day and I don't work out, because those types of negative thoughts are going to get in your way and really create resistance to actually doing something more active in your life. So instead of saying, oh, I'm a lazy bum, you would say, oh, I haven't explored fitness as much and there's so many different things I could try. I could do Pilates, I could go to the gym, I could swim, I could run, I could hike. There's so many things that I could do to be more active in my life. And I think that those possibilities are really exciting, don't you? And finances are the same way. Finances are a very touchy subject for people, and I don't think they should be, because it's very important for us to have a lot of self-awareness and intention around our finances. And whenever you, for example, have a lot of debt, let's say you have a lot of credit card debt, or you have a loan that you've fallen behind on paying, or you're behind on your car payments or something like that, that can weigh on you and make you feel like you're less worthy than somebody else who has 6 figures in the bank, right? But that's not true at all. We are all equally worthy of our desires, okay? If your finances are not as good as you want them to be, then that just shows how much opportunity there is to grow in that area. So in this case, if you're not really doing well financially, you want to educate yourself on finances first and foremost. So learn about how much you should save. Should you invest? What are the things that you're looking to purchase? Are you looking to purchase a house, a car, a puppy? You know, like what are the investments that you're looking to make? And then when it comes to your debt, you want to be really specific about this too. So you want to actually branch out different categories, one for credit card debt, one for loans, one for whatever other types of debt that you have. And you want to actually do a sub branch of that branch we just did into the different credit cards you have. So it would be like Apple Card, Capital One Quicksilver, and then you're going to list the balances on there. And this is not to shame you or to overwhelm you. This is to help you have awareness around your credit card debt, your finances, and the actual steps you need to take to get out of that debt, okay? Because if you don't have awareness and you just keep putting it off and you don't like checking your bank account, you don't like checking your credit card balance, then you're not going to get anywhere because you're ignoring the problem. You're basically sweeping it under the rug. And you know what? The universe doesn't like it when you do that. You have to be proactive in order to see results from this. I paid down thousands of dollars in credit card debt, and I didn't do it by sweeping it under the rug. I did it by being really intentional in how I was paying it off, and by looking at the balances, and by understanding what those mean, and by not getting triggered by it. That's the big thing that people struggle with. I think that they associate debt, and credit card debt especially, with lack of self-worth, or with you being bad at money, or with all these negative beliefs about yourself. But you have to let that go. You have to look at it just as it is and treat it just as it is. It is not the end of the world. You will pay it off, and you just need to take intentional actions to make that happen. So once you've broken down your life audit mind map into all these different categories, I want you to look at the outermost circle, which is the smallest level that you have. So this is where you would have your specific credit cards listed, your specific workout activities you want to incorporate into your life, the specific meals you might want to make to eat healthier, or foods that you enjoy eating that are also healthy. Maybe if you have a category for habits, you'll look at specific habits you want to adopt and specific habits you want to break. These are all great things to add to your life audit. So once you're looking at this outermost layer, I want you to make a list of all the actions that you're going to take in order to improve your life in these areas. So you're going to turn it into a list format, print that out, and stick it somewhere where you'll always see it. And that way you'll always be reminded of what you're working towards in 2025. Again, the life audit really is the foundation of your glow up journey because it all starts with awareness. I will probably do a separate episode on life audits and how to do this step by step and offer even more tips. So subscribe if you haven't already and stay tuned for that. So now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Globe Goddess Glow Up Challenge, which is our 2025 Glow Up Challenge. This is really close to my heart because I realized that I need to do some more work on myself, and I really want to realign my energy with the high vibration that I know will manifest more abundance into my life. So really, I wanted to build a community of people who can all do this together. I want all the badass bitches in this challenge who are ready to change their lives and glow the fuck up in 2025. As I look back on my journey of glowing up in my life, I'm really proud of myself because at the beginning of 2023, in January, I was at one of my lowest points. I didn't want to get out of bed. I lost all my friends because they were like, oh, she sucks. She's depressed all the time. And they weren't really there for me when I needed them to be, but that's a whole different story. And just seeing how far I've come within the last year and a half is truly mind-blowing. I'm in a way better point in my life. I have my dream boyfriend. I'm working on my dream body. I feel happier and healthier than ever. And that's how I know that you can have the same transformation in 2025 if you set your mind to it and take the right actions. So girly, if that resonates with you, then I invite you to join the waitlist, and I would love to see you inside. This challenge is going to be an absolute game changer, and we're going to make 2025 our best lives. I can't wait to glow up with you. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I hope this inspired you to do a energetic glow up of your own if you've been feeling really low vibe lately. As always, please subscribe, give me a rating on Apple Podcasts, or I almost said iTunes, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. All of that really means a lot to me, and I'll read every single one of your reviews. Share this to your story if you loved it, and let me know what your favorite part of today's episode was, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in, love. Have a beautiful rest of your day.